At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Well, it's a beautiful day. We got a little snow cascading from the skies. It looks like it's going to be a really nice day, Royal Ross. This is Gordy Kosfeld. We're at Jana's for the Faribault Spotlight on Youth program, which is the Faribault Coaches Show.
And most importantly today, our temperature begins with a 2 and has 2 digits. So
all right, come on in.
This is about 35 degrees warmer than it was a week or 10 days ago.
You're absolutely right. It's gorgeous. Not a bad day at all. Yep. Get on down here. There's some great food.
Yes, absolutely. Come on down to Jana's Marketplace right on the corner of 2nd Street and Central Avenue Northwest, right across the street from Burkhartsmeyer.
She told us to tell people to bring in their recipes.
Yeah, I had never thought of that before. Now, she will take a request, and if you have a great family recipe, or not really a family recipe, but a dish. Almost had to sneeze there, Gordy. If you have a great family dish that you'd think would be great on her menu, come on in and describe it to her. She won't be able to run into the kitchen and make it on the spot for you, but it wouldn't surprise me then if it turns up as one of her meals.
I wonder if she'd give you credit for it.
She might. I got to tell you, I'm going to try to think of one so we can test that theory. But
I told her she should take my chili.
Oh, yeah. But she's got pretty good chili.
Yeah,
she does have good chili.
But I put lots of tomatoes in my chili.
Yeah. But no, Jana does a great job down here, not only with her food, but Jana's a pretty darn nice person. She does a lot for the city and the citizens of Faribault, and always contributing. She spent a lot of time on city council, and now she has continued. God, she must be in about 30 years of making delicious food for Faribault. So, folks, come on down. If you can't have gluten, she's got many gluten-free options, including some wraps and some bowls. She said she got had a new bowl this week, the Buddha Bowl, gluten-free Buddha Bowl. So come on down if you're needing a little bit of a specialized diet and try it, because she's got some wonderful meals that you can take home with you, pop into the microwave, or take to the office and pop into the microwave. Couple minutes, you got a nice, delicious, warm, hot meal. Warm, hot. That's kind of redundant. Well, folks, come on down to Jana's Marketplace, check it out, and say hi to me and Gordy. We're in the back.
Yeah.
Back studio, the back room from 10 to 10:30 every Saturday.
We got the fireplace studio.
Yes, we have the fireplace studio. Yes, we do. Yeah.
The invoice window studio.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
The clock says it's 1:30.
Well, yeah. The clock isn't perfect. The clock is about like me. I think it ran out of juice.
That's okay. Eric Hildebrandt's here. He's the head Faribault Falcon boys coach. I had the honor of broadcasting the boys game earlier this week in Northfield, and boy, Eric, that was a thrilling game. Nobody had a big lead in the game. It was a lot of fun to broadcast.
Yeah, that was a classic Big Nine, Faribault versus Northfield, just kind of slug it out type of game. Great atmosphere, good crowd. Both towns and communities well represented. And I thought both teams played really well, really hard. Great competition, and it's nice to come out on the right end of that.
Yep, Mr. Mahal, who got his 1,000th point last night for the Northfield Raiders, he was really good.
Well, yeah, he is really good, and congratulations to him. I didn't know that. Excellent player. He's a great kid. Really happy for him and his success and excited for his future. I think he's got big things in front of him.
I think he's the 14th player in Northfield history to score 1,000 points.
Yeah, I know they've had some really good players come through, and he's definitely earned that honor. So,
do you have any idea off the top of your head how many players we've had score 1,000 points?
I don't know the exact number, but obviously Mohammed Madej got his 1,000th. He's our most recent this year. When we were down in Casson playing Park Cottage Grove, he got his 1,000th. So it's a great accomplishment, and just really proud of those guys who are able to do it, and proud of their teammates too, because it takes everybody. And so happy for a kid like Isaiah, very happy for a kid like Mohammed to be able to get that accomplishment.
Well, you guys were fortunate that he fouled out with about 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the game, because from there on you guys kind of took over. Well,
it was tricky because about 4 minutes earlier, Brewer fouled out for us.
Right, yep.
And so it's too bad. You hate to see two of the best players on the court be out in the late stretches of a really close game. But, I thought that we adjusted to that well, and I thought that Northfield adjusted to when Isaiah went out well. And it came down to, the margin of winning and losing in a game like that is so small. Nolan Vogelsberg made 2 huge steals.
I was just going to say that.
Huge steals. And then we knocked down some really timely free throws and just did enough to get across the finish line there. So it could have gone either way, and I'm glad it turned out the way it did.
Yep, they won by 2, and then last time Mayo came to town.
Yeah, they played really well. I think that was kind of our first real stinker of a game that, happens in a long season. It's a 26-game season, and we just couldn't get anything really going. We looked really kind of sloppy and stagnant offensively. Missed some easy ones, a bunch of them early, and then that just kind of deflated us, it seemed. And Mayo took advantage of it. They did a really good job on the interior, getting some easy buckets. They defended us well. They're big and physical. Bunch of juniors, and so they're going to be good next year as well. But yeah, to their credit, they played really well, and we did not. So, but it's one game. We'll learn from it. We'll grow, and we look forward to getting back after it next week.
74-51, I believe, was the final score last night. But, and I'm not trying to make excuses for your team, you're coming off that big emotional 2-point win over your arch rival. It had to be tough to get back up for the Mayo Spartans.
I don't know. We had a few days in between, which usually helps. That we kind of ran into that with Maple Grove after the Owatonna game. Same emotional, high-energy game, and then less than 24 hours have to go up to Maple Grove and play a big physical team. That was a challenge to get us mentally and emotionally back where we needed to be. But last night, I don't think that was the case. I think we were ready to go. We were excited. Unfortunately, I just think that some of our inability to convert early just deflated us, right? And Brewer went out and played really hard, but he kind of re-aggravated his ankle, so he wasn't quite 100. And we just could not find an offensive flow last night at all. We started having some really sloppy turnovers and missing shots that we would normally convert, which kind of led to us trying to force things and taking worse ones, which led to some opportunities for Mayo that they took advantage of. And, it all just kind of snowballs from there. So it's a good game to learn from. You hate to go through things like that. It's not fun to go through things like that. But you learn from it, and ultimately you grow from it to get where you need to be at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's the bottom line, right? The end of the season.
Absolutely, yeah. And so we'll get back after it. I got to be better at putting guys in position to kind of weather some of that stuff and get us some easier ones early. So we'll get after that right away on Monday and get ready for West on Tuesday.
Mankato West. Go West, young man.
Go West, young man. Is it home or away?
It's at West. West on Tuesday.
So you are going West.
At West and then at Red Wing on this next coming week.
Yep. It's
Tuesday, Saturday.
Doubleheader Saturday. I've got that on the radio.
Yeah, over in Red Wing.
Okay. So no home games this week?
We're on the road a lot in February here.
Yeah.
I think, we have 13 left, 12, maybe 12 left. And but 10 of our last 14 are road games on our schedule. So
really, you're only halfway through the season, and just
little more than that. A little more.
A few
than
minutes
that.
ago, you mentioned it's a long 26-game season. So yeah, it's a long season, and it seems like you've played a lot of games, which you have. But you got half the season left, darn near.
Yeah, a lot of games, and so it's really important, to. in this stretch of the season to really learn through film. Practices start to shorten up this time of year, so just to be really productive and precise. So, we'll just focus in on some key details. It's easy, the temptation after you come out and play what I think was our worst game of the year overall. The temptation is always to panic and think you have to tear the whole thing down and rebuild, and that's the temptation that we can't fall into. It's just a matter of, teams are starting to play us a certain way to exploit some of our to take away our what we're excellent at, right? And to kind of force us to do things we're a little less comfortable doing. And so now it's up to us to adjust to that and drill in some of that stuff, and so we'll get after that Monday.
But I sure hope your team isn't losing any confidence over the last loss or two, because they still tremendous amount of talent. They play well together as a team, and like you said, it's a long season, so there's going to be some peaks and valleys and stuff. So
absolutely, and I don't think they are. They're not losing confidence. It's just a matter of being able to consistently show up with the mental and emotional energy that you need to perform at your highest level, which is hard. You get to the end of January and the first couple weeks of February, and those are really the dog days where it's just the term the grind is really, it's real, and it's more of a mental grind than anything. Everybody's a little bit physically banged up at this point. And then you get to late February and you start to get that breath of fresh air and get kind of naturally rejuvenated by the postseason looming. So this is the time where it's really important to just hone in on discipline and details and just continue to battle together to get ready for the playoffs.
And I did not remember this. I was reminded of this by the Northfield coach, that the Raiders are in 3A this year.
Yeah.
So they're in your section. That was a big section win.
Yeah, they've been in our section the last couple of years now. Our section it's tough. It's really tough.
Pretty deep, isn't it?
Yeah, and really some good teams. So it's going to be a battle, and like I said, you go through this stuff now to be battle tested and ready for that in March.
How much time do you have the guys spend in the weight room during the season?
Usually 2 days a week.
Okay.
We get in there and, we like to do kind of recovery stuff after the day after a game. But it is a big part of what we do. Like I said, usually twice a week. Sometimes that gets hard if you're playing 3 games in a week or 4 games in 8 days. It gets a little much, but we manage it the best we can, and grateful to Coach Harmeyer and the Faribault Fitness Center in there, getting our guys physically ready to go for the grind as well.
Now, during the season, maybe every couple weeks or something, do you have any camaraderie events, where you just kind of bring the team together and, have a little fun and kind of gel?
Yeah, we try to mix a lot of that stuff in. Our parents do a great job hosting team dinners. Those are really important to just kind of sit down together and share a meal and just kind of enjoy each other's company. So we have several of those throughout the year.
Royal, there you go. Have a cookout for the boys.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
We try to do a few of those things throughout the year. And again, as the year, you get into this part of the year and it gets more challenging because your schedule is just so jam-packed. But, even just reminding ourselves of those things that are most important in practice and on a daily basis when we're together, just to stay centered on the right things and not get caught up in the ups and downs and results and rankings and seedings and all that stuff, and just really center in on what's most important, which ultimately is, our experience, our relationship with each other, our growth, and then, like I said, basketball-wise, the details, the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Boy, Gordy, a cookout for a basketball team. Do you know how many hot dogs a high school basketball team could eat?
Well, it depends on whether they like hot dogs or not.
Well, let's just assume that the high school kids like hot dogs. And they eat a lot.
You think your players like hot dogs?
Yeah, hot dogs, burgers, whatever you want to cook us, we'll show up.
I'm going to give you the bill on this one, Gordy.
You will?
Yeah, I'll cook. I'll grill.
Well, if I have hot dogs, they're going to be real ones. They're not going to be those.
Oh, yeah.
ones.
No. They got to be, all beef hot dogs and
skin.
Good. You like the skin on, yeah. Good solid ones. But
real wieners, the real ones.
Yep.
The locker ones.
You're pretty healthy right now, right? Your team?
Well, Brewer just
a little bit of an ankle.
His ankle's just kind of, we're working on getting that healthy. He's doing a great job doing everything right to get it where it needs to be. We'll just kind of manage that day by day, and communication's key in that situation. Like I said, everybody's got some bumps and bruises, and but overall we're doing decent, and hopefully Brewer's ankle will continue to progress and get him to 100%.
I do remember one point in the game against Northfield, you just leaning back in your chair and putting your hands on your head. I don't know how many layups your guys missed, but I think that one.
Mayo or Northfield?
No, Northfield game. Yeah, I was at the Northfield game. I wasn't at the Mayo game.
Well,
sometimes you just have to put your head in your hands, Gordy.
But you see that all the time at every level of basketball. People missing layups all the time. I mean, what's his name? Ant for the Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he can dunk like
Anthony Edwards,
but he can't make a layup.
Well, first of all, I don't remember sitting down that entire game until it was over and I was exhausted. So I don't know if I leaned back in my chair, but I probably put my hands on my head.
No, you were sitting. You were sitting. I remember that vividly.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to watch the film because I usually don't. But, the other thing is we forget sometimes that it's hard. Basketball is not easy. You're going at full speed. It's contested. There's physicality, and it's hard. It's really hard. So, like you said, at every level of basketball, and it's because it's not an easy thing to do. And so, you get frustrated like that because you work hard to create that opportunity, and those opportunities they're hard to create too. And you get those, and they're so important to convert. And but the important thing is to just keep doing the right things and give yourself those opportunities.
I think the reaction was due to the fact that it was a wide open layup, and like I said, you see it on every level. Ant misses wide open layups too, and he's a professional. You just kind of shake your head sometimes. Not that I never missed a layup, because I did.
But overall, Madej, Ibrahim, Wolf, Krieger, they're all pretty healthy right now, and
other than Brewer.
Than Brewer. That's why I didn't list him. But an ankle, you can recover from that.
Well, like I said, he's doing all the right things, and hoping to get him to 100% before too long here.
Yeah, well, you're going to need him for the playoffs, so I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah, he's a huge piece for us. He's a guy that makes everybody around him so much better, both defensively and offensively. He's just a great communicator, great leader on the floor. He can play any position. The ball moves better when he's in there. So, he just elevates our entire team. So we're definitely going to need him down the stretch.
For sure. But I was glad you pointed out, because I was going to point out Vogelsberg's big steals down the stretch. Those were, like you said, huge.
Yeah, and that's he's really, really good at that. And he's just such a good athlete, and he's really savvy with things like that, and smart basketball player. And, two well-timed steals that really were difference makers for us in that game.
They probably don't win that game if he doesn't get those steals, Royal.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. It definitely increased our odds, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It put us in position to be in control of the end of the game, that's for sure. So, just really, really proud of him and happy that he did that.
What does West have this year? I know East is really good, but what does West have?
Well, they have a really good big guy. Some young guards who throughout the year have gained a lot of varsity experience, and they've lost to a lot of good teams, and they just last night I saw thumped Owatonna pretty good. So the Big Nine every night's a challenge. It's what you want, and so we're excited to have another opportunity to come out and play better on Tuesday.
Now, remind me of your starting five. Well, even your top seven. What other ages are seniors, juniors?
Juniors and seniors. Yep.
Okay.
We're all juniors and seniors right now.
Okay, so we're going to lose a few players after this season, but
quite a few.
Hopefully, we've got some people coming up in the freshman and sophomore ranks, and
our freshman group's having a pretty decent year. Kind of figuring out how to continue to play together, but we're just enjoying right now. This, you
Yep.
don't get the season's long, but the time ultimately is very short. And,
it goes fast.
And you just really try to enjoy the time that you have with a particular group, because every year, from one year to the next, it's not the exact same group necessarily. You always lose someone to graduation or whatever, but we're just trying to enjoy every second we have together with this group.
Yeah, and like you said, even if you bring back 5 out of 6 players, those 5 aren't the same group, because they're a year older, more mature, just a little bit slightly different players,
Yeah, and it's just really important it's hard in the moment because you're so busy with everything and everything's so fast-paced to really enjoy it. But it's, again, staying centered on those things that are most important is to just really value the opportunity to compete with each other.
Yeah. So, Gordy, you might have to lace up your shoes. Could you have an old-timers versus young persons team, or a game, and maybe get Gordy out there?
Well, we had our alumni tournament earlier in January.
Yep.
And I was one of the old-timers trying to keep up with the youngsters. But
did Mitch Onstead come down?
He came to the game. He didn't play this year. He played a couple years ago. Still maybe the best player on the court. But, it's really fun to reconnect with guys who I played with, guys who I watched play, guys who I coached. It's a cool event that I'm really glad we get to do every year.
Now, what do you do? Do you start out the game with the old people getting like a 10, 12-point lead, or how do you do that?
So what we do is we do a 3-on-3 tournament.
Okay.
And so it's just all alumni. We kind of form our own teams and play a 3-on-3 tournament. And our players ref it, keep score, help out, and they just really enjoy seeing that too.
And the younger guys have to shoot left-handed if they're right-handed and right-handed if they're left-handed?
Well, I try to tell them that, but they don't listen to me. So, but
that might make things interesting.
It certainly would.
Yeah.
If you could, if you could do it. But boy, I bet in the action of the game, it'd just be natural. You're right-handed, you're going to shoot right-handed.
I was ambidextrous, so I'd throw guys off. They'd think I was right-handed, and I all of a sudden start shooting a jump shot left-handed. And this a different guy or what?
I was ambidextrous too. I wasn't any good on either side.
Well, I'm not saying I was good. I'm just saying I was ambidextrous, which was a nice luxury to have. It's a nice luxury. Well, I'll see you next Saturday in Red Wing.
Yeah, we have the doubleheader. I think the first game's at 3, and then maybe 4:45 right after that. So
love to have some of your guys come down too, Eric. So
yeah, absolutely.
Always send
we'll
down.
try to get
We'd
them
love
down.
to talk to Brewer and Mr. Krieger and
Brewer's coaching a tournament today. He coaches our 5th grade team.
Really? Wow.
Him and his dad. So they're at a tournament I think in New Prague today is where they said they were.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Giving back already, and he's not even out of high school.
How did they pick the 5th grade team?
I think they coached them as 4th graders last year, and they're just continuing on with them and doing a great job and enjoying them.
Well, that sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think that's wonderful.
Maybe I'll do that when I retire.
There you go.
Do a little coaching. That'd be fun.
Well, let me know. I'll call your games on the radio for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I get a lot of people say to me, "Boy, Gordy, you should be a coach. You coach all the time on the radio."
Yeah, well,
So
there is that.
It's easier from where I'm sitting than where the coach is sitting, right?
Maybe sometimes, yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we never have bad advice up in the booth, do you?
No, but I'm elevated. I can see everything, and I'm not emotionally involved because, I'm not the coach. I mean, it's kind of hard not to get emotionally involved, isn't it?
Well, of course, yeah. Number one, you're a competitor, right?
Yeah,
so you're
absolutely.
always, have that going. But then also, you just care so much about the players and want it so bad for them. That's where the majority of the emotion comes from. Is you're confined to the sideline. Theoretically,
Yeah, they even have a box.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you're confined to the sideline, but you're at the same time you're doing everything you can to battle for and with your guys, and you just want it so bad for them. And so, it makes it all fun. And like I said, it's the most important thing is being able to do it together and just give everything you have for each other.
Now, I do know down the road I've got your game at John Marshall. I was told last night, I was at Mayo with the girls. I was told by their AD that they've got John Marshall as a really good big fella, too.
Yeah, he's a solid 6'11", and they have another guy who's 6'9". They're really big, really athletic, tough. They're undefeated in the Big Nine right now, which is a really amazing accomplishment for anybody any year.
Yep.
And so it'll be, we didn't obviously Brewer missed that game when JM came here. We hope we're at full strength, and we hope to give them a little bit better showing. We struggled offensively as well, so it's one of those things that sometimes you're glad that you get to see a team again just to measure your own growth.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have an opportunity to go and compete and see what happens.
Don't have to worry about them in the playoffs because they're a class above.
Yeah.
We do play a lot of 4A teams on our schedule, which I like. It really, again, prepares us for the postseason well,
We've
I
only
think.
lost to one 3A school, right, Byron?
Byron, and that was a great game.
Overtime.
Yeah, we have a couple really. We have a week where we play East and Stewartville in the same week, both away, and so that'll be a big challenge for us as well. So, our schedule's tough, and we wouldn't have it any other way because, like I said, when you get to the playoffs, you want to be battle tested and have gone through kind of the gauntlet of the regular season to be ready.
Cannon Falls beat Stewartville last night by 2 points.
Cannon Falls having a great year. I haven't seen them play much. We'll never run into them, but
Yeah, I've done a half dozen of their games.
I've just seen a lot of their scores, and they're playing really well.
They are. They have a good team.
So, Gordy was talking to you about, the emotion of coaching and stuff. So I don't mean this to be a dirty question or anything, but how many technicals do you get in a year usually?
Honestly, I've gotten one in my whole life.
I was going to
Okay.
say,
I was going to say it's not many. I know
and,
that.
and it happened this year, and it is what it is.
Well, there's passion.
I think.
I mean,
I think I could have maybe done a little more to earn it, if you know what I mean. But it's it is what it is. It happens.
Yeah.
You just try to stay as positive as possible, but you have to advocate for your guys as well.
Absolutely.
So,
No, and that's what I mean. There's a lot of passion in coaching, no matter, what sport or activity you're coaching. The coaches have a lot of passion. They have a lot involved in this, too. So it just made me think of it because, well, one of the teams that you played recently, the coach got a technical, and I won't bring it up, but I mean, it's just part of the game.
He just did.
Well, I'm not saying who, though. I'm not saying what team or anything like that. But, I mean, it's just part of the game,
It is.
Coaches,
It happened.
Coaches are emotional and passionate.
And everybody's human beings, the way that really I'm. You compete, you battle in the moment. You're advocating for your guys, but I'm really grateful for the guys who officiate because it's a tough job.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it. It's a really tough job. It's a thankless job. No matter what, somebody's mad at you, and it's kind of they're there working for the kids. We're there working for the kids. It's all about the kids, and sometimes you disagree, and sometimes you go a little too far, and.
Yep.
Again, it's all passion driven. It's all driven for care for the kids.
Yeah, and both coaches and referees. I mean,
They're human.
they get paid for what they do, but it is still just a step or two above volunteers. Because they do it because they love that. They love the sport. They love what they do.
My dad's band, the Over and Back Band, used to always say, "We don't have any fun, but we make a lot of money." And I like to think of it kind of tongue-in-cheek coaching that way, too.
Yeah.
It's just we have so much fun with the kids, and it's not about getting paid or not paid. It's about investing in kids. So.
Yeah. All right, well, Gordy, we got to wrap this show up already. Mind if I talk a little bit about Trek?
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here, down at Jana's Marketplace one last time.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much,
Appreciate
Coach.
it.
Yes, I am Royal Ross with Trek Properties, located in beautiful downtown Faribault and Depot Square building right across the street from the post office. We have 4 different divisions: an association management where we manage townhome and condo associations, property management where we manage investment property and mostly residential rentals for investors. We have a commercial management division, and then we've got a storage division. So if you need anything in the realm of real estate, come down and see us. We can also help you sell and buy, but we're there to help you. So give us a call, 507-334-3499, and we will get you steered to the proper person in our company that will help you out. But we would be very, very happy to talk to you about your real estate needs. Trek Property.
The Southern